today, but I'll just give you a backup of verse 6. So, of the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, thus being fixed, one must render service unto the Super Soul situated in one's heart, because he is the Almighty Sri Krishna, okay, eternal and unlimited. He is the ultimate goal of life. By worshipping him, one can end the cause of the unconditioned state of existence. So, we had come to this understanding that Sukhdev is telling us that to search for God, one has to go within the heart. So, when you see the Lord within your heart, how do you experience him? And the service has to be unto this Lord who is within your heart. Now, this is very funny because your heart is yours and you have to do service unto the super soul who is in your heart. This is what is being mentioned. So what does this translate into? We are going to understand. So today's satsang is all about how to see Sri Krishna in your heart. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse 7. Who else but the gross materialist will neglect such transcendental thought and take to the non-permanent names only? Seeing the mass of people fallen into the river of suffering as the consequence of accruing the result of their own work. Now here, Sukhdev is telling Parikshit that there are lots of transcendentalists, that means those who are the spiritual type of people, who are so much interested in their personal upliftment, which means they are interested in all kinds of other things besides going into the depth of the divinity within. They have something to look out to. So they are going to go outward and seek those things. So what are they going to seek? They are going to seek all the material benefits. They want to fulfill their desires. The desire of lust and greed is the primary one. I'm sure you know that. So there are these characters who are more interested in all these wrong kind of activities. So he says, those who have fallen into the river of suffering, that means they have gone back into the material world, or they are misusing the material worldly activities of doing things. Now, what are the things that they are doing? So, these people are interested in lust, greed. Greed is all about money. Money, power, fame, fortune, all these kind of things are there. These people, they are seeking fame. They want to be famous. They want to earn a lot of money. They want billions of dollars. They want so much that they can become super rich. They also want following, which means basically people will follow them. They also want people to acknowledge them, that you are the greatest, you are the best, those kind of things. And then they run after women and different kinds of things. You will find that there are lots of these sages and saints, so-called sages and saints, who have gone off the path. Some of them are arrested because some of them have murdered some children and women and stuff like that. Some of them are behind bars because they have done something wrong. A couple of years ago, there was a case of one Swamiji who was running after an actress. I mean, there are lots of these kind of things which happen. They are finally suffering for their consequence. This is an important thing. What are the consequences? The consequences could be, in the material world they will lose. But in the spiritual world, they lose much more. That means they lose their position in spiritual. They are downgraded, they are sent back into this earth once again somewhere in the future life of theirs, and they have to suffer a lot. This is what happens to all these people. So, who are these people? They take the non-permanent names. What is non-permanent names? Non-permanent names are those names of God or those forms which are not real. These forms, they come and they go, in a sense that they create the forms and then they ask you to worship the forms. They will ask you for money to worship the form. There are lots of these people who create this kind of forms, and then they create the prayers, and then they create the kind of teachings in such a manner that you fall for it. So those people, they have to suffer. Not in this life, maybe in the next. So we move to the next verse and we try to understand what is Sukhdev telling us about these kind of things. Verse 8, other conceive of Sri Krishna residing within the body in the region of the heart and measuring only 8 inches with 4 hands, carrying a lotus, a wheel, a chariot, a conch shell and a club respectively. Now, this is a very, very important lesson for all of you all. See, why is it important? It's because when you are alone, you are not going to any temple, you are lost in your own thoughts and processes. How do you see God? Seeing God is very, very important, isn't it? So here he says, you have to conceive this Sri Krishna, the Vishnu form. Remember, he is the Vishnu form. See him lying in the core of your own heart, okay? In the region of the heart, he is measuring 8 inches. That means this much amount of. So you can stretch these 2 fingers and that would be approximately 8 inches. Imagine him in the core of your heart, approximately 8 inches, with 4 hands, carrying the 4 items which are mentioned in all the scriptures about the Divine Lord. What is mentioned over here? You remember? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. All this you have to see. Alright? See that particular form as if he is within your heart. See, please understand, you don't go to the temple every day. Maybe you don't have a temple right in front of you. You may be sitting in an office or traveling in an auto rickshaw or going somewhere, eating something, drinking something or the other you are doing. You are not sitting in front of a murti. You are not sitting in front of anything. Alright? So how do you visualize this God? This God can be visualized in the core of your own heart. Right? Now, the heart actually doesn't mean your physical heart. The heart chakra is there. Alright? And think that he is within that place. This is the way we have to visualize and conceive this Lord. Now, this is a prescribed method by Sukhdev. Alright? So Sukhdev is giving us an idea how to see Sri Krishna. This is important for us because we do not understand how Sri Krishna can be seen by us at all points in time. So the next verse, verse 9 says, his mouth expresses happiness, his happiness. His eyes spread like a petals of lotus, and his garments yellowish like the saffron of a kadamba flower, are bedecked with valuable jewels. His ornaments are made of gold, set with jewels, and he wears a glowing headdress and earrings. Now he is describing how you have to see this God. His mouth has to express happiness. That means a smiling face. See, God is always depicted in most of the picture as a very, angry person or having a frown, those kind of things. Actually, there is no need to have that. Even when we design the murtis, we ensure that they are all having smiling faces. Because if you are smiling, the world smiles with you. But if you are having a frown, the world is also going to look at you in that manner, isn't it? So this Sri Krishna we have to see with a smile on his face, with the eyes wide open. The eyes also carry the smile, isn't it? Many a times you have seen, when you look at the eyes of a person, if they are an angry person, like that, the eyes are big and they don't look nice. But when they are smiling, their eyes are also like this. So he is giving an idea. Eyes are like petals of lotus. His garments are yellowish in color, saffron color. That is orangish yellow. Bedecked with valuable jewels. I'm sure you know what jewels he wears. Okay, so those jewels are there. We'll be mentioning them. His ornaments are made of gold set with jewels, and he wears a glowing headdress and earrings. That means he has a mukut on his head and he is wearing earrings. Next is verse 10. His lotus feet are placed over the holes of a lotus-like heart of the great mystics. On the chest is the Kaustubh jewel engraved with beautiful calf. There are other jewels on his shoulder. His complete torso is garlanded with fresh flowers. Now this is what we also have to do. Whenever there is a puja or a part going on in our house, we are supposed to put fresh flowers. Isn't that what we are supposed to do? So fresh flowers. So his feet. Now this is a very important part. How many of you remember how Mahavishnu is sleeping? You will find that the feet are facing like this. All the denizens of the spiritual world, the enlightened masters, they are right round him, isn't it? They are close to his feet because everybody touches his feet. Alright? They touch his feet. They show him the path, that these feet show them the path where they are supposed to go. And I'm sure you remember, the feet of Sri Krishna are the most sacred. So, the mystics are there. That means all these sages and saints are at the feet. On his chest is the Kaustubh jewel. The Kaustubh story you know. The jewel Kaustubh is on his chest engraved with beautiful calf, and there are other jewels on his shoulders. There are other jewels also. Then the next verse says, he is well decorated with an ornamental wreath round his waist and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers. His leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with bluish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing to see. The visualization has to be like this. So when you see Krishna, visualize him in this manner. He is well decorated with ornamental wreath round his waist. Kamarband as we call it, something which is kamarband. Something which you tie around the waist. Rings studded with valuable jewels. So he has got wearing rings and all that. His leglets, pension, or the ones, the males normally wear that round thing on the leg. Okay, I don't know what it is called in Hindi or in other languages, but that is what you have to wear. His bangles are there, oiled face is there, curling with bluish tint. So, Sri Krishna has this very strange color which looks bluish. So that is what you have to see. And a smiling face. The face is always smiling. So whenever you look at him, the face will be always smiling. Next verse 12. The Lord's magnanimous pastimes and his glowing glances of his smile face are all indications of his extensive benediction. One must therefore concentrate on this form of the Lord as long as the mind can be fixed on him by meditation. So what you got to do? You have to fix your mind on this, Sri Krishna. Get into that particular state of being. Think on his different aspects. Focus on every aspect of his. Now, he is also going to teach us how to do this, okay? Just wait. We are just describing him at the moment. So, description is what we are doing. So, he says, the Lord's pastimes. When you are thinking about the Lord, when you are visualizing, when you are conceiving the Lord within the, within your heart, what exactly are you supposed to be doing? You are supposed to be thinking in terms of his pastimes also. The leelas that he performs. What are the different kinds of leelas that he performs? There is a Bal Leela. As a child, he has performed many leelas, isn't it? Right from killing those demons, I'm sure you remember them. Putana came to give him milk and all those things. I'm sure all these stories are very well known. I don't have to repeat them for you. So think on those stories. When you are visualizing this Lord within your heart, these are the things you need to think of. Great sages like Tukaram Maharaj, Eknath Maharaj, all these great sages, Mirabais of this world, what do? They visualize the Lord in a fashion, in a particular manner. And that is exactly what a devotee does. When you are a devotee of the Lord, your job is to think of the Lord in such a manner. And in his stories also. He has done a lot of stories, which basically translates into his leelas, as we call them. So think of those leelas. And his extensive benediction. Wherever you look at the Lord, have you seen him raise his arms and give you that Ashirvad? Right? So the Ashirvad is given, and that is what you need to have. One must therefore concentrate on this form of the Lord. How much you have to concentrate? You have to concentrate as long as the mind can be fixed on him. Till your mind is fixed on this Lord. Concentrate on him. Many a times our minds are lost in the material world. We are so lost in nature that we keep on thinking of hundreds of things. Today, man has got too many things to think of, right? He doesn't have time to think of the Lord all the time. But what is Sukhdev saying? Even if you get that 1 minute or 10 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour, whatever is the time, can you focus your mind onto this Lord of yours, Sri Krishna, within the depth of your own heart in the manner described over here? So, we move to the next verse. So, we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse 13. The process, now this is what I was telling you about how this process is to be done. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the calves, then the thighs, in this way higher and higher. the more the mind becomes fixed upon the different parts of the limb, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. So your intelligence is going to get purified when you see him from bottom up. First you have to see the feet. Whenever I look at my Gurudev, when I have to see my own Guru, I will always pray at his feet, because his feet carries the entire universe for me. So I want to touch his feet, I want to pray at his feet. Here is the method which is prescribed by a great sage, Sukhdev, to Parikshit, and this knowledge is being given to the world as well. How do you meditate? So when you have to meditate on the Lord, start from the feet first. You should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress upwards to the smiling face. So you have to go from bottom to top. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet first, and then the calves, and then the thighs, and then the way higher and higher. The more the mind gets fixed upon the different parts of the limb, one after another, the more the intelligence gets purified. So as you progress along the path, what happens to you? You get progressively very, very intelligent. Your intelligence rises. See, it is always mentioned that the Divine Lord, we have to look at him in a particular manner. But nowhere has it been mentioned how to look at the Lord. Right? Here is the first time in a scripture visualizing Sri Krishna in the core of your own heart. 8 inches, this much in length, and you have to see him from head to toe as he's lying over there, he's sleeping. Or you can see him standing also, does not matter. Because later on we are going to introduce another concept also, which is basically how Mahavishnu sleeps. From his Nabi comes that, lotus stalk on which is Brahmaji. Here is the Lord at the feet, which are so beautiful to look at. How many of you have seen the different emblems on the feet of Sri Krishna? Have you seen? Go to the Google or wherever and search for the emblems on the right and the left feet of Sri Krishna. You will find this very beautiful picture of a shankh over there. Different things you can actually see. So at the feet, the sages and the saints are there. So when we start our meditation, we have to start from the feet first. From the feet, we go upwards to the shanks, the thighs and everything. Go upward till you see the face. We have to start moving upward. That is how he says. And as you move upwards, your intelligence gets purified. Now we go to the next verse. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse 14. Unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both the transcendental and the material world, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of the Lord at the end of the prescribed duties. Now this is very important for common man. See, basically there are lots of people in this world who are listening to the satsang. And those who are not devotees or those who are there casually, those who are coming for the sake of listening, he is telling them as well. So in front of Sukhdev, there were lots of other people who had gathered. Remember, Parikshit was going to die within 7 days, correct? And naturally the kingdom had come. Everybody from the kingdom had also come. Again, there are people listening to the satsang, and those who are listening to the satsang, this is an extremely important thing. How important it is to remember God at the last minute? Tell me. Do you think you will have the ability to remember God? I don't think so. Because if you are not practicing today to visualize God in that fashion, how will you remember Him in this manner? Right? So remembering God is important in a certain way. And this manner is important. Alright? So always remember this. You have to think of God constantly so that at the last minute you don't forget His name. See, that universal form of His, which we called as the Virat Swarup. When we were doing this chapter at the beginning, it was mentioned that you have to think in terms of the Virat Swarup. He is also telling Parikshit that see, today your last moments have come, 7 days you are going to be dead. Before you die, take the name of the Lord and look at that Virat form of His. So for a normal person who cannot visualize God in their heart, for them, can they visualize this Virat Swarup? This is something which he is saying, as a loving service to God, think of His form in a certain way. Okay? Right? Now we go to the next verse, verse 15. O king, whenever the yogi desires to leave the planet of human beings, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed, and regulating the life air should control the senses by the mind. Now this is an important process. For people who are yogis, who are on the path towards spiritual, the spiritual people, those who are interested, see, please remember this. Lots of people are there in this world, but they may not be interested in spirituality. They may be there only for the sake of just being there. No, this is for those who are yogis. And do you want to leave this planet when you are dying? Do you want to leave it in a certain way? Now for those higher transcendentalists, basically those who are enlightened people or those who are on the path towards spirituality, the higher ones. Okay, how are they supposed to leave this world? They are supposed to be not bothered about the time and the place. See, in the Bhagavad Gita, it was mentioned how a person should leave the earth. Was it mentioned? I'm sure you remember the verses where he says, during the first half of the year, the rising moon and blah blah, all those things were mentioned or no? You remember? The sun is on the upper, that means higher than the equator, it's on the upper side. All these was mentioned. Here what is he saying? He is saying the transcendentalist, whoever is interested in spiritual and who are spiritual people, their job is to not bother about the time and the place. They just have to sit erect in one place. Okay? Comfortably sit without being disturbed and regulating the life air. That means they have to take even breath. Okay? Breathing exercise is a necessity. Everybody should practice pranayama. The breath control is an important exercise. We have to practice breath control. Even if you are a common man, you have to practice breath control. It is for your own good. See, today we are living in an atmosphere which is so polluted and stuff like that. We require this life breath constantly. So we need to practice it. So take even breath. It has to be balanced out evenly. Got it? So balance out your inward and your outward breath. Take in, take it out. Balance it out. There should be no hastiness in this. Don't rush. Don't try to take, those kind of breath. No. Just calm yourself down. Sit in one place. Breathe evenly. That is what he says. And should control the senses by the mind. the senses are always going to go out. Your eyes are going to keep on wandering. Your ears want to hear something, those kind of things. Don't bother so much about it. Control your senses with your mind. You don't have to look at things. See, lots of time we are very curious people, what is happening there, what is happening there, what is happening there. This is what happens. Verse 16. This is Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse 16. Therefore, thereafter, the yogi should merge his mind by his unalloyed intelligence into the living entity, and then merge the living entity into the super self. And by doing this, the fully satisfied living entity becomes situated in the supreme stage of satisfaction, so that he ceases all other activities. So how do you do that? Remember, the outermost sheath. What is the outermost sheath? The physical body, isn't it? The inner sheath after that. The inner sheath is the breath one. The one which breathes. So we call it the breath body. In English I'm explaining. So food body is outside, breath body is there, right? After the breath body comes the mind body, right? There is a sheath, mind sheath is there. Now this is in the subtle body of yours. Subtle means you cannot catch the mind. Can you catch the mind? No. So you can't catch the mind, you can't catch the subtle breath also. These two things you can't catch. But physical body you can hold, isn't it? You can catch it. So the food body is what is called the gross body. Below that is the subtle body. So the breath, the mind, the intellect. All this is inwards, and then we have the last one. It is called the causal body. Causal body, Anandamaya Kosh. Now what you got to do, the yogi, what he does is, he controls his senses. That means his senses are totally shut down. By whom? By the mind. Remember this. So he is not looking outside, he is not seeing anything, he is not hearing anything. So if the person is dying over there, he is not listening to you. No. He is only thinking about the Lord in his heart. Remember this? Or the Virat Swarup. Correct? He is only thinking of that. What does he do? He controls his breath. So the second part, of the subtle body is controlling. After that is the mind. So he merges the body within the subtle body, and then the subtle body within the causal body. He is going inwards. He is not at all now outward in any manner. So he shut down his entire body functionality. He is actually not listening to anything, seeing anything, doing anything, sitting in one place. Completely serene, balanced breath. And in that, he enters the being of the self. Fully satisfied. There is nothing to look forward to in this world. You are not supposed to be bothered, I am not able to breathe properly or something. Nothing should bother that person. So, fully satisfied living entity becomes situated in the supreme stage of satisfaction. He has reached a stage of complete satisfaction. A stage where he is not bothered about anything. A very, very simplified state of his being. The body is there for the sake of body being there, but he is non-existent. So that he ceases all activities. So he is ceasing all the activities. Okay, we'll do one more verse today and then we will stop. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse 17. In that state of Labdhopasanti, there is no supremacy of devastating time, which controls even the celestial demigods, who are empowered to rule over mundane creatures. And what to speak of demigods themselves? Nor is there the mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, nor even the false ego, nor the material causal ocean, nor the material nature. Now he is giving us an idea about what actually doesn't disturb him. Who? This yogi who is now giving up his life. He is sitting in one place. This is a lesson being given to Parikshit. Now Parikshit has been told how to give up his life. Okay? Sukhdev is telling him, all your worries and everything, we have to chuck them out. Don't think about all these things. Are they going to help you in any way? Last, just 3-4 days ago only when I was doing the satsang, did I not tell you what is this every man is bothered about? Even at the time of death, he's thinking of property and this and that. This yogi is not even bothered about these kind of things. So, he is in that state. A transcendent, it's a very, very subtle state of non-existence. Okay? There is nothing gained in that, or nothing that is liked in that. See, think on these lines. I want something. I want God. The word over there is being mentioned. I want to reach something. There is nothing like wanting, desire, I want to be like this. No such kind of process is happening. Think on these lines that he has nothing to gain. Even the supremacy is not at all interested in. He is not even bothered becoming some supreme person or something like that. But always remember this. The time which is there, which is very, very important. Remember, he's got only 7 days to live, isn't it? Now, when a person is dying, he should not be bothered about the time. What is this time? You see, everybody is bothered about the time, isn't it? Why is this time like this? Why is so much trouble in my life? Why are there so many problems? I don't understand this problem. I don't understand these money issues, this issue, that issue. So many issues are there. You're always bothered about it, isn't it? You want to pay your EMIs in time. You want your salary in time. You want to grow in time. You want your children, your wife, your husband, your house, everything. Is it not time bound? Is it? Yes. Now he says, even the gods, they are also time bound. Somebody asked me a question. And he was saying that no, in a particular heaven, if I take the name of that God, I will reach his heaven. They say no. Here we are talking not about this demigod. We are not talking of any demigods over here. We are talking about the Supreme Lord. He is called by different names in different places. In this scripture, he is called Sri Krishna. In Bible, he is called Father in heaven. Not Jesus Christ, Father in heaven. In the Quran, he is called Allah. Is he not called that? In every scripture, he is called by the ultimate name. The name is something, he is no name. He doesn't have a name actually. But we call him by that name. And our job is to reach there, not to go to all these demigods in the middle. Who are these demigods? They are created by the entities, by the divinity itself. They have functionalities. What are the functionalities? Brahmaji's functionality is creator, isn't it? He is a demigod. Indradev is a creator. Indradev is a king of the gods. So his job is to rule the kingdom. Agni Dev, this Dev, that, so many devas are there. They are all demigods. They are also bothered about the time. This is what I answered that person. I said, even Indradev has a fixed time. He may be the king of gods, but he just has those 1,000 years to live. That's it. He is also ruled by time, isn't it? Correct? Even Shiva, even Sri Ram, are they ruled by time? Correct? Now Shiva, his wife Sati, she passed away, isn't it? You know the Daksha Prajapati story and all that. I don't want to repeat it. And then Parvati comes into his life. Is it not time bound? Are we having a genealogy over there and a respect to time? Yes or no? Of course. Sri Ram came in a certain yuga, bound by time or no? So everything that is created, they are time bound. Even you are time bound, even I am time bound. I have my own time. I have to come and I have to die. Everybody has to die. You also have to die. I also have to die. We are all time bound. When the time comes, we go away. So, even the celestial demigods who are empowered to rule over mundane matters, they are ruled by time. Nor is there a mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, not even the false ego. So this individual who is going towards God at the last minute of his life, the ultimate destination, not the penultimate, nowhere in the middle, no heavens, nothing. He is going to the divine Lord. This person is only supposed to remember that particular form, remember, and then what is he supposed to do? He is supposed to control his breath, put everything inwards, look right inside, and then he should not be disturbed by the three gunas also. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. He can't be saying, oh, I am sitting in a gutter. Oh, they should have cleaned this place up where I was sitting. No, nothing like that. You should not even be bothered about it. Think on those lines. How the divinity works. See, we should not be bothered about Sattva, Rajas and Tamas also at that point in time. Nor the false ego. The false ego is this one. I am this, I am that. There is a causal ocean. Okay? We should not be bothered about that, where everything comes about. The whole universe has come out from this causal ocean. We should not be bothered about that. We should not be bothered about how the earth got lifted. What are the different forms? All the different forms that are there from Matsya avatar, Varaha avatar, this avatar, that. Don't be bothered about any of those things. So when as a yogi your job is to destroy everything. No gunas also. No ego also. I am dying. No. And not even the material nature. The material nature is around you, including your body is from the material nature. Don't be bothered about all these things. So this is the way in which Parikshit has been recommended to give up his body by Sukhdev. And that is how it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 2. We have ended at verse 17. So we will stop over here.
Recording stopped.